Kids stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying.
Visit JSUMS.edu/homecoming for more information.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered a leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. We back with another one. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Listen, if you ever tuned into the earlier day show, go ahead and check out the V Breakdown with me and my boy Mike Reed. But today, it's a little different here on the channel. I'm talking a little band. And, you know, I ain't no band head. That ain't even me. So there's only one person that I can go get and reach across the aisle, okay? Because football is still king. It's my man, Smash Time!
What up, man?
What's going on? Horn? Was it guns down, horns up? That's what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guns down, horns up, man. It's the movement, man. Smash Time.
I know a little something. So, Smash, listen, man. You guys are making, your band mates, band heads are making waves with the announcement of the new Pretty much, we'll call it the Black National Band Championship by ESPN. Before we get and dive deep into it, when you heard it, when they first came across your phone and you was reading the title, what popped up into your head?
What the hell? Man, championship. Hey, hold on, wait a minute. That's the first thing I thought. So I started reading them like, okay, I'm still like, what the hell? But I got a little more context on it, basically,
Okay. Now let's go a little deeper. It says ESPN Events hosts the inaugural Band of the Year National Championship December 15th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. This you can find in the description below. It's called Band of the Year. Now, Smash, let me ask you this. If you were doing a band of, because let me back up. Let me back up. I said to you when I went to the Battle of the Bands, when I went to Jackson and Southern, I said, who won? And you said, it's not about winning. That's what you said. You said, because some people are going to say Southern won, some people are going to say Jackson won, but that's what makes the band culture what it is. So how does ESPN or whomever get into the space and now are able to say you win?
So pretty much from what I read, if y'all noticed that like the last, I won't say year or two, probably since COVID, they had something called, let me back up a little bit. Scotty, to answer your question, furthermore, there are adjudicated band competitions, just not for what we do in the HBCU space. There's like what is called DCI, that's court style, even high school, even some collegiate competitions, just not for what we do in the HBCU space. So to answer your question, I don't want nobody to be like, they do have adjudicated competition, just never for what we did. You know what I'm saying? But in this new undefeated thing, I from what I'm hearing, they gathered a lot of older band directors to vote on like different things. Like I know I pulled up the list earlier. It's right here. They vote on like the auxiliaries, drum majors, musicality, percussions, and pictures of design. Long story short, that's what I'm guessing that they're grasping what they're gonna judge this on. So to answer that question.
Yeah, so I got the categories for you here. You got pictures, drill, and design. I have no idea what that even means. Auxiliaries, don't know what that means.
Okay, auxiliary like flags and dancers.
Oh, okay, got you.
Picture drill and design is for what the design you make on the field, how straight your lines is, and what the design of your show is.
Okay. Drum major.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, percussion, drums, and musicality, pretty much FAMU, right?
And no, not just on my FAMU. What you like? Why you like Southern?
I like the horns, man. I love the horns. I love the intricacies of they play every part of the song. I love that. I absolutely love it.
All that ties into it.
So my thing is, how do you because they said this is based off halftime, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back and read this. Let me zoom in just a tad bit so you Bammers can see this as well. It says the championship culmination right here. Let me slide this. Okay, y'all can see that. The championship will be a culmination of a season-long competition where bands will be ranked according to their weekly halftime performances by a selection committee of marching band experts. Ooh.
Okay, Scotty. Now what I want you to do is, you see that link that I sent to your phone?
With the Anscape junk, right?
Yeah, pull it up real quick. And this is where I get confused at, and I ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
So as you can pull it up so the people can see. So with the Anscape undefeated rankings, I noticed that the last few years, like if your band don't have a media team to put y'all's content out every week, I feel like you're at a disadvantage for something like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I pride myself on scroll down. I pride myself on not just showing the big bands love, but the smaller bands, the Kentucky States of the world, the Benedict Colleges, you know what I'm saying? The bands that people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? So keep scrolling down. And I noticed that you keep scrolling down. I noticed when they was judging off of basically whatever content got put out. Now, if you look at this, the first video, I don't know who that video is for. Scroll down. That video, I think I'm not sure who that's for. I think that's
Marching 100. That's the Marching 100.
FAMU has their media team.
And this is Human Jukebox. This is the Human Jukebox.
Now watch this. The next 3 videos, as you keep scrolling down, this is like the last one. That's me.
That's you again.
That's me.
And that's you at Miles.
That's me at Miles. And those were in the same weekend for a week apart, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like Dang, so if you're gonna judge the bands, this is not. I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I just want to ask questions like, what if a band like Claflin? Claflin have a new band they starting. You know what I'm saying? How do they get a correct piece of this pie if they don't have anybody putting out their content, or if they're not putting out their content? And then we know how things go. Like let's say for instance, if they don't have the best editors like the Southerns of the world, you know what I'm saying? The show could look mid. You probably can miss something that they probably did. So that's the only confusing part I have about it. Like, how y'all gonna give everybody a fair shot of this pie? Because you ask people who the best band is, you ain't gonna say like the top band, like Southern and Fairview, Bethune Cookman's of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my only confusion about this.
Now, my thing is without these videos of you posting about these D2s, I know you pretty much put Kentucky State on the map with a lot of your videos and things like that. So my question is the Winston-Salems, the Langstons, the Allens, the Florida Memorials, you know, the Edward Waters, like who's watching this stuff? That's the thing for me. How are you going to every person's halftime show and watching it? Because number one, ESPN Plus most times don't show that. Some of these schools aren't on ESPN Plus. So explain to me how everybody is getting seen outside of the big names in D1 and D2.
And that's the question I raised. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, I know for sure some of the bands, like you said, Kentucky State's of the world. Like, I single-handedly, you know, put them on the map. Not too my horn or whatever, but I know it was a good band that I noticed, and I started filming them. I have a big platform, so let me put this. Every year I take on a new band. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Scott. I don't know, like the like you said, the Winston-Salems of the world, the small schools like Fayetteville State, a new band up and coming, or like Lane College in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? How can they get a fair shot in this? That's the only question that I ask. That's the only question I ask.
And then for me, and we talk offline a lot, and when it comes down to what you've always said about bands is what does the money look like in this situation? Because to me, if what I've been told is it's 2 from D1 and 2 from D2. That's the competition. 2 from D1, 2 from D2. So I'm assuming, and this is because once again, and John Grant, he watches the show. I've talked to him, so it's no shade. What I'm saying is that I don't like when people don't put it all on the table of what you can win, of what they're covering. Because if you're making the special announcement, finish the special announcement. Hey, we're doing a National Battle of the Year band. It's going to be crazy. Teams have a chance to win $100,000. I'm not saying that's he said that. I'm just saying this is how it should have gone, right? Because you have to make it incentivized for people to want, one, to even care to go, and two, nobody really knows how this thing is going to work.
And Scotty, you know, every time we have a band talk, you know, I've been trying to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes talk. You know what I'm saying? And my only thing I talk to, it's not a college band. I probably can't call on the phone and talk to them. Yeah. My thing is when I see stuff like this, I'm okay, are the bands getting paid what they're supposed to get paid? It's the thing that's the reason why bands do things like this. And I'm not, it's ESPN. They got $1 trillion. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that whatever, if the band's doing this, I'm pretty sure they should get paid. And I want the money to go directly to the band. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if it's the first, second place, a third thing, but I'm pretty sure if bands are doing this or are interested, I'm pretty sure they're getting paid. What they getting paid, I don't know. I just know it's not a band. I don't know when ask you that. If you ask them what their scholarship budget, if they told you, they work in miracles. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope, and I know ESPN probably pop them up. I just hope they break them off something crazy because this is end of the year. You have everybody looking forward to it, and then you tie it to like the biggest weekend of HBCU, the championship game. You know what I'm saying? The day before. Another question I raised was this. Okay, Scotty, name your, from you just being a band, name your top 3 HBCU bands.
Number 1 would be Southern. Number 2 would be Texas Southern. And then number 3 would probably be Jackson State.
Okay, my question is, okay, let's say if Jackson State is in the Celebration Bowl. This happens the day before the Celebration Bowl. You know how tired them kids gonna be? That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just think I want more details to come out on it. It's like we're not knocking, we just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? It's a cool idea if you ask me, especially if the band's getting paid and there's a lot of events that's coming out this year for marching bands. I just want to know, like, you know, dang, like how is everybody gonna get a fair share of the pie? You know, and I kind of know how these things happen already. Like the little guys always get ran over, but it'd be cool if ESPN would, like, you know, I'm not saying reach out to people like us You know what I'm saying? Or like, just ask what we think and get. I don't know if they get the band director's opinion. Have two of these. Have a certain one, like for the little guys. Have one for the bigger band. It's just so everybody could get a piece of the pie and be fair across the board. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think in this instance, because I know a lot of people, I've talked about the Celebration Bowl becoming. It's funny what people want to do a playoff with and what people don't want to do a playoff with. Because I think the Celebration Bowl should be a playoff between D1 and D2 schools. That's just me personally. It's supposed to be the HBCU Black National Championship. Make it a true Black National Championship. That's just my personal opinion. But you do it with bands without half of the resources that they need to be seen to do this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, because if you're talking about most of these D2 football teams can be seen, right? They can be seen. You can watch them and things like that. Most of these bands cannot.
While you're playing, some of these D2 school bands are better than some of these D1 bands, if you ask me. Like the Miles Colleges of the world, the Kentucky States of the world can roll with the best of them. Mm-hmm. But if I don't know, I don't know, Scott. It's just so many questions that I ask. I love the idea. It's just like I'm with you. They should have just put out more information, because the band vlogs and like groups and platforms are going crazy right now. Like they want to know all the questions as well that we asking. But I just hope that it be something dope. And I just don't want it to be like a gimmick to try to get more people to come to the game on Saturday. Because if you know band heads, let's say it's as if I don't give two shits about that football game tomorrow. I really don't. I'm coming to see this battle of the bands. I'm going my ass home. Especially if it's not one of the schools that's playing. Like if you get a Jackson and Jackson, okay, you still go. But I don't know, man. That's why you got these things are thought out better than this,
Let me ask you this. How would you, it's not, officially nothing's adjudicated in the world of what y'all do and things like that, but how would you have structured it, knowing that you are in this space, knowing that you've dealt with D2, D1? Tell me some of the structures that you would have done in regards to having a national band of the year. Would it have been just two different winners, but you explain
it. See me, I'm a band head for real, Scotty. So like, let's just back up a little bit. So the adjudication part, period. I know that you name your top three bands: Southern, Jackson State, and who was the other band?
Texas Southern.
Texas Southern. Watch this. Texas Southern has a flag team. Southern and Jackson don't. So all of them have a dance team. So like you can't just dismiss the flag. They're performers too. Will they get more points than Southern or Jackson because they're considered auxiliary? You know what I'm saying? You gotta like know these things to think about it. So it wouldn't be fair if we considered all of them as auxiliary if I got flags and they don't. I structure it like that. If you ask me, like look at all the bands who got flags, look at all the bands who don't. That's one way to do it. Or by conference. You know what I'm saying? I would keep it by conference. I would have like maybe a D2 battle of the bands and then a D1 battle of the bands. Just it's so many ways you can do it. But I would go off of, I guess it's hard to say style, because like a band like FAMU is totally different from a band like Jackson State. But both bands, us as musicians, I talk about it all the time, Scotty. Yeah. We know I love FAMU, one of my favorite bands growing up. We know they sound amazing. The musician in me will be a lie to say FAMU don't sound amazing. But I'm from the South. I like that crank up shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear the loud, exciting songs that it don't do it for me. So basically, I'm not going to compare those two bands. We can compare them, they're battling on musicianship, but at the end of the day, if people they like Jackson State more than FAMU, I would definitely understand. And somebody who's into the musicality of things and into soft intonation and balance and blend, they're going to like FAMU. You can't argue, but that's what makes it hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's two good bands. It's just two different styles and two different opinions. That's why I say I would rather it be based on the opinion of the people and the masses versus being adjudicated. It's just my opinion. But
okay, let's stick with that, right? Because if let's say FAMU and Jackson are the bands that are at the Celebration Bowl, right? For the event. Well, if FAMU doesn't have dancers, you know what I'm saying? Right. Jackson State does. So, like you said, do they get extra points because they're bringing the prancing J sets and FAMU doesn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does those are the things? Like, I feel like the nuances of it all is what makes this even more convoluted of a question and question and answer than just coming up here and saying, hey, we're doing a band of the year. Look at us. And I'm like, that sounds good, but have you taken in consideration of all the nuances across the landscape of what you're doing? And I don't think that has been done.
It's so many other points to that, Scotty, too. Okay, boom. Let's say, for instance, we going like everybody keep in the comments saying Honda. You know what I'm saying? They say like that's one of the most prestigious battle of the bands, and they kind of, I hate to say it, dropped the ball over the last few years. But and there's other battle of the bands that's brewed up, like HBCU Culture doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other battle of the bands that's coming together. Fan votes don't always be the thing too, because I know Southern fans are like a cult. I graduated from Southern myself. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves Southern. Even the people that hate them, they love them. You know what I'm saying? They probably hate them because they probably can't beat them. Same thing for Jackson State. They have cult following. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. FAMU. I don't care what you say about FAMU. FAMU is FAMU, and they're going to pack anywhere they go. So if you put these kind of bands up in there, those bands are going to get more crowd votes simply because they have bigger fan bases. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you really can't do the crowd votes. I had something else I wanted to say. Damn, you made me lose my train of thought of it. What you said? You touched on about the
flags and dancers and non-dancers and all the auxiliaries.
Yeah, I know. Like there's YouTube, there's band reactors, right? And one of the band reactors, when a band have flags and another band don't, he just kind of put it together and give it one score overall, which I don't think that's pretty fair. So it's just so many questions, and I think the band community deserves to see this adjudication sheet and what these bands are being judged off, because I don't care how you put it, win, lose, or draw, when they do it, people still gonna disagree with whatever band won, and they're gonna disagree whatever band's made it.
That's guaranteed. I mean, it wouldn't be black people if they didn't have some kind of like, oh, you cheated us, oh, you didn't come see us, or you didn't come see that. I just think it's really hard to do a weekly contest watching Bama's halftimes when they're over, let me see,
100 plus HBCUs.
Come on, like this is ridiculous. Like you got a top 10 here, but I mean, Jesus Christ, like you're talking, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's over 100 HBCUs that you're supposed to go watch. They're all like it just don't make sense. It really just does not make sense. I wouldn't even would it be fair? Let me ask you this. Would it be fair if they picked 20 schools and said, hey, out of these 20 schools, this is what we're looking for. This is what we're doing. We will be following you for said week. Anybody that comes in the last two spots will get replaced with another 4 schools. You get what I'm saying? Like, so
okay, let's say if they did something like that, if they took 20 schools and they said, we're judging y'all's score off of the halftime show y'all do on week 3, right? Yeah. That means schools that don't have media teams, go hire one for the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm available if y'all need it. But go hire one for the day, drop y'all content, and then we judge off of that show. That would actually be cool because everybody who got picked in that 20 will be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I just see it going back to, you need to get the opinion from the culture. And the one thing I don't like about, like, when big things like this happen, we ain't hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Like, Scotty, you go type in Southern versus Jackson on YouTube and you tell me what'll come up. You just tell me what come up. Any HBCU, you tell me what come up. I dare you. You type in any HBCU versus HBCU and wait for a football game to come up. I'll wait. Now maybe Jackson in the last couple years could be on, but even before that, you know what I'm saying? Like, these HBCUs has big followings. I see the catch for it, but when you do something like this, and that's all my DM was full with today. Damn. Yeah. So what about the little schools? How we gonna get a shot at it? I'm like, damn, yeah. I feel you. So I don't know. You don't march in the stands is the reason. Some of these comments. What does Delaware State? What about Delaware? See, a band like Delaware State. A lot of people might not even know Delaware State have a band. Yeah, I like what Disney did this past year too. Disney had their own battle of the bands. It wasn't judged, but they invited 5 bands out. Alcorn, Incat, some other bands. I forget the name, a bunch of bands. And if they went out to Disney World, had a weekend fun, paid for everything, and they had a battle of the bands. That was pretty cool. I like stuff like that. But when you adjudicate,
I think that's the best thing, right? I think this is what I would have done. I would have made a list of D1 and D2 schools, right? Nah, I would have picked 5 D1 schools, 5 D2 schools. I would have brought them all to Atlanta, and we would have had a 2-day competition of a battle of the bands. like halftime, all that type of stuff. I don't know how that stuff works. Maybe it worked, maybe it won't work. But I don't know, man. It just don't make sense to have people. I don't believe ESPN. This is me personally. I don't believe ESPN is going to put the money behind to send somebody to go watch Elizabeth City halftime show.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. And Scotty and people, if you've been following me, that's how I got big in the band world. Everybody went to Southern and Jackson. Guess what game I'm going to? I'm going to Miles versus Kentucky State. You know what I'm saying? Just to give the little guys, you know what I'm saying, a part of the pie. So you're right, Scotty. It's hard, but I'm all for the betterment of the bands. You know what I'm saying? If they getting paid to do this, I don't care. Pay the bands and make sure the bands go to the band. Make sure the money go to the band department. Because, all these bands struggling. It's, a lot of them struggling. We won't talk about it, but yes. And even that, Crankfest format, I see somebody say that. That goes back to the bigger, the more popular bands. A lot of people, you might not want to hear Elizabeth City versus, somebody you want to hear Jackson versus Southern. So it's tough.
But what's your format? How does that work? Like, when they're going, are they in the stands? Are they on the floor?
That's another thing. Okay, so like I broke down to you when you came to Southern game, Scotty, the zero quarter, right? Zero quarter is the beginning while the football team's warming up, scout team, all they doing their stuff, bands going back and forth, halftime show, self-explanatory. Fifth quarter. I hate that we hate to admit it, but like the newer generation, I'm not saying we don't like field shows. But we judge who won the battle of the bands off the fifth quarter. Halftime was cool, you know what I'm saying? It's a dying art, but we keeping it going because that's tradition. But when you have a halftime show battle of the band, I think that, I don't know, I would say off of stands, but anybody can sound good. So it's just kind of hard to do these things. You got to think them through, or you got to place it. Do it different years. This year we judging off of fifth quarter style. This year we judging off of halftime. This year we judging off of or we can have, if ESPN or these people actually really care, let's host. I ain't gonna say really care, but if you want to show us you care, let's have an ESPN drumline competition. You know what I'm saying? Beginning of the year, let's have an ESPN sponsored dance line competition. Stuff that's easy to judge. The dance lines, everybody even lines, correct turns. You can tell if somebody mess up. Those things are far easier to judge than the whole band. And let's do a swag competition. Let's do a MEAC competition. It's so many ways that,
and then bring them together like you do like a celebration bowl. Like you have the winner over here, you have the winner over here, and then they meet up in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, you got it like that. And I think that works better because that's what everybody already understands. You get what I'm saying? So if let's say South Carolina State is the best band out the MEAC, okay, we take you. All right, let's say Alabama State ends up being the best band out of the SWAC. We take you. All right, you go down to SIAC. Okay, let's say it's Tuskegee, and then you go to the Sky AA. Let's say it's Winston-Salem, and then you bring them all to Atlanta, and bam. Now you got to think. So if you keep it in divisions, it actually makes it a lot easier because now you can just pick and pull.
This is the best of the best, and honestly, do like the college playoff bracket. Like if you scoring off, I don't know, but it will only be right to have like let's say the MEAC. The MEAC only have how many schools?
8 total.
Yeah, 8 total. How many got bands? Maybe
6 football, but 8 total.
I think only 6 of them have bands, but you got like the SIAC. Add an extra 2 bands from the SWAC could go, 1 band from the SIAC to make it an even bracket, and you do it like that. There's so many ways. I'm gonna say it's so many ways you can show you care about this kind of stuff than just giving us a weekend before the big thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
She said 5 in the MEAC. I guess the 5 of them got bands in the MEAC.
Well, shit, yeah. I'm reading comments on both places, but yeah, it's a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? I like the attention. I hate when people say it's for exposure. You know what I'm saying? Because like these bands. If you don't know, you don't know. Like somebody like you new to the, well, you ain't new to Moscata, but like you, even if you didn't know, you see the Golden Girls, you know what you like, huh, Gotti?
Hey, they my favorite. Point blank period, they my favorite.
You ain't had to know damn thing. You seen it one time, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's multiple ways to do this, and I think it'll make band interesting if big entities like, okay, let's say for instance, ESPN, instead of instead of us having a winner or loser, let's give all the bands that participate in this new uniforms. That's hard. That's game changing right there. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. Let's give them new uniforms. Let's give them all new drums this year. You know what I'm saying? A new set of horns, stuff that we actually need and pay them, because it ain't easy to do all this at the end of the year in the holiday time when people gone and they gotta stay an extra week. Which we don't talk about that. Football team gotta stay an extra week, and let's say for instance they go all the way into Celebration Bowl, we gotta stay an extra week too. So yeah,
I think when you take the field shows out, you take schools out like FAMU, because they really take pride in their field show. They be doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but that's the appreciation of the music. Yeah, I get it. You right. I ain't gonna cap you. I'm gonna say you absolutely right about that, because they pride themselves on the field show. But I thought FAMU is slam somebody to stand too, just because they sound good. That's one thing about musicians. Yeah, you may say fan boring sometimes, or like it sound polytune, but guess what you ain't gonna say? It don't sound good. Scotty, it sound good. It sound bad. Now you might can't make out with the song good. Be like, damn, it sound good, but I don't know what it is, but it sound good. You know what I'm saying? So this is conversation that us musicians have, but stuff that don't get talked about.
They're playing Kenny G Songbird, bro. Nobody want to hear that mess. Nobody want to hear that.
But do it sound bad? Oh my gosh, bro.
Okay, whatever. It don't move you. It doesn't move you.
You gonna find something now.
You to sleep. It don't move you. Yeah, man. FAMU is just, I don't know, bro. They're like Tolly Carr. Okay, that's what they remind me of. They remind me of Tolly Carr.
Who Uncle Neely?
You're a golden Oreo in the middle of double stuffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? It just really bothers me. I don't understand why they do the things they do. But overall, listen, I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't think I'm gonna really care about it when the season hits. I ain't gonna give two shits, because I'm about football, and you'll keep me updated, like, hey, this is da 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 da. But I just hope that as it gets closer, right? I hope they come out with more answers than questions, right? To really understand and how to break this down of what this is going to look like. What are they covering the expenses? How much they're paying the bands to come out there? All those type of things, because it all matters. It all matters.
I think, and at the end of the day, I like anything for the positivity of bands. I like it, as long as they get paid. Long as they getting well taken care of, because band ain't easy, and that's a lot of things. We talk about it all the time. A lot of HBCU bands get abused, bro. Like when we sign a new football coach, we the first ones that playing. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get to school early for the freshmen. You know what I'm saying? We gotta send a pep band to every basketball game. The stuff that don't get talked about. So I feel like the band should be definitely compensated for stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Even though, I don't know. As long as the bands get compensated and they having fun and it makes sense to the bands, that's all I just don't want another entity just to come, we ESPN, so we jump for ESPN, you know what I'm saying? But they may be just doing just to hype up the weekend, when it's really putting the stress on the bands, especially not taking care of them. So take care of them, I'm good.
Okay, let me assist. Zakia says, what are some of the other video guys saying about this, and how will this affect you guys?
Okay, it will affect us. Honestly, it's gonna affect us, us video guys, a lot. So how I talk about Scotty, a lot of times, do I want to get that deep on here? It'll affect us because if it's ESPN, you know what I'm saying? My whole thing is YouTube, right? So they'll have all the rights to it. We're not gonna be able to post it on YouTube. Only people who probably be able to post it on YouTube is the bands who have legit media teams. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's what I wanted to say. I'm glad you touched on it. Back to knowing what people want to see. How many times have you seen a band halftime show on a ESPN, but they just showing you what the fuck ever? They just showing you the drum major, they just showing you whatever. It's multiple times I done filmed while ESPN or a big entity is filming, and I know they don't know what the fuck they're filming, you know what I'm saying? And they don't know what we want to see. So if they're broadcasting it, they're filming a bunch of BS because they don't know the culture. They don't know that the dancers are coming right after the first song. They don't know the dance routine is coming after the dances. You know what I'm saying? They just filming a guy playing drums. They just filming a guy wiping his nose. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna affect videographers like us unless they give us media credentials. But I know the Celebration Bowl, they don't. Listen.
Oh yeah, they're gonna shut that all down. So
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you guys won't have any footage of what is going on at the Celebration Bowl, which is sad because they're using your content to judge.
Yeah, it go deeper. So like, and a lot of times, and that's why I'm not afraid to say what a lot of people won't say because I know I didn't gain the. I'm talented. I do this shit, guy. You understand what I'm talking about? So like, if let's say, like if they block me off on this, if they say we can't record a Celebration Bowl, I know I got Mardi Gras coming up. I know it's 2 small schools who's gonna appreciate me being there, and the kids who watch my videos are gonna be. This the reason why I went to Southern. Cause I seen Smashtime video. This is the reason why I seen Killer Kev and other bigger videos. They don't. It's like we get knocked off. They don't really care about us until it's time to use our videos for advertisement or like a moneymaker video or something like that. It really messed over us a lot, bro. We don't talk about it because it's just like. We gotta just fight. And I spent a lot of money for the season too, Scotty. So you tell me you got a big battle of bands like this, and damn, like I can't record, but you got your film crew filming the damn drumsticks or the wheels on the bass drum. Like, come on, bro. That's the people who you want to see is not seeing what you want to see. So yeah, man, it's tough.
I think that's the part when you okay. And I'm gonna open the call lines up if anybody wants to call in 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. Let me get these call lines open. But this goes back to what I hear Mr. Campbell say about when you see white people in black spaces, they're trying to make money, right? And the thing for me is that once again, John Grant's a cool guy. I've talked to him. Awesome man. Awesome man. I just don't think that you
are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
I don't think you invited the culture in the right way, right? Because to me, if you knew you were trying to do something like this, one, it got to be grassroots, right? And then with the grassroots, and the reason I say it got to be grassroots is because band people know where to go to get band content. And it's not ESPN. You see what I'm saying? So let's say
boy, you preaching, you spitting.
You see what I'm saying? Like, let's say for like week 3, right? And they're like the top band is Alabama State, and they use Killer Kev's video that he covered for Alabama State. It combines it to make it a grassroots movement, so people are excited to see what's going to happen in Atlanta because they're keeping track through the band.
Kev, now go. Matter of fact, pull up this thing. Pull up what I just showed you. I wanted to point this out, but I forgot. Just pull it up real quick. Just pull up where you see my videos at.
Okay, I got you.
Ask it.
Here you go.
Okay, you get a scroll down. How many? Okay, on where do you see? Let me make sure if I ain't tripping. Where do you see one time? Do you see this video has been shot by Smashtime Productions? Yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Go follow his YouTube channel on such and such. Where?
Oh,
not one time. Not one time. Now it's cool because I mean I'm for the betterment of the damn programs. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm appreciative that bands like me, you know what I'm saying, they make my work go around, I make their work go around. It's like a partnership, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But for entities like ESPN who got trillions of dollars and like Escape, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they may email us because if news stations email us like the local news channel news, like, you know, NBC or somebody, when they want to use our clip of our band, they email us and ask us, you know what I'm saying, give us credit and even send us a clip of it. But something like this, I'm giving you a prime example about I won't get invited or accepted to do this ESPN event, but to promote y'all every band of the week, my content get used. Yeah, and it's crazy. But I'm, believe it or not, even not one of the bigger YouTubers, I'm not one of the first. You have, I don't know if you want to be named, but if you're a band head, you know they got the guys who are bigger than me in the game. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a long time. Shouts out to them who paved the way. But yeah, just stuff like this, Scotty. Just stuff like that. But yeah, as long as the band's winning and getting paid, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine.
That's respect. I just think it's kind of big bank take little bank. That's the vibes I'm getting from this, is because I know for a fact Okay. This is the thing. This is where my conspiracy theories, you know how my brain starts to work in this conspiracy theories is that you go to a Miles game and you say you saw the halftime. There is no video proof that you were there. There is no evidence of you being there. That you're going because you're going to have the band director, the old retired band director, record. You're not doing that. You're not putting up an iPhone recording to ESPN. That ain't happening. So how? See what I'm saying? Like when you start peeling the layers back on this stuff, it's like how? It sounds nice, but how?
That's why I don't know, bro. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? That like, my thing is like I said earlier, like the smaller schools, everybody who did me today, like, dang, you think they'll pick us? You know what I'm saying? Probably not if you ain't have a video out this week. So I encourage, put more content out for stuff like this. But if you only picking 4 bands out of 100 and something, and you had no things leading up to it, like even somebody said Tennessee State, great example. Tennessee State is one of the most known bands out, right?
Yeah,
but. Like they're not playing Jackson no more. That was always the Southern Heritage Classic. No offense to UAPB, but a UAPB versus Tennessee State game ain't gonna get the numbers that the Jackson and the Tennessee State game will get. But watch this: Tennessee State, well now they play UAPB, and now they play Norfolk this year. That's the second HBCU, but normally that's the only HBCU they play. So that's the only time people really pay attention to Tennessee State for real, unless you're a Tennessee State fan. So you mean to tell me Tennessee State only got 1 weekend for real, to get a shot at this? That's crazy. But you wouldn't know this if you're not a part of the culture and if you're not reaching out to people like us to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Are they even in this list? Let me see if they in this top 10. I don't even think they're in the top 10. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, they're number 6 right here. Okay, I see it right here. I just want to make sure because they with the white conferences. I didn't know if that like knocked.
Yeah, get your money, Tennessee State, of course. But it's like I can't ever go to a damn a Tennessee State versus whoever they play in their conference game. You know what I'm saying, to make sure that they're still getting exposure. But it's just certain things. All I'm saying with this, because I don't know about to take what we're saying, misconstrue it. It's like when you do stuff like this, I feel like you need to dig deeper. And think deeper and reach out to people who know. It ain't got to be me. It could be a damn band director. It could be like, other people of the culture. I'm pretty sure the first place you run to watch bands is on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And A&T another one. A&T another one. Only time who they play? Who A&T biggest game is? Norfolk. And after Norfolk some years, they don't play nobody else.
NCCU. The Aggie.
North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
Aggie Classic. Okay, and then after that, those two, but it's still another damn 60 games left for the season. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, let me get some of these callers. Mr. D coming to you. Hey, what's up, Mr. D?
What's going on? What's going on, Scotty Smash? What's going on? I'm giving a shout out to the GOAT, brother. I love your content with what you're covering with the band. I'm a band at heart. Played the clarinet for about 13 years back in the day. So look, Scott, I'm asking you the question. Why is ESPN wanting to do this?
I think maybe trying to add more
to that weekend. That's what it is.
Maybe more eyes.
Yeah, that's the byproduct. But what's the word that Mr. Hardy Pell said? Reach.
Gotta get that reach.
They trying to get that reach. Because this is probably what happened. You probably had a young executive that got appointed who's a black person, probably went to HBCU school. And they're talking about, oh, what's some new ideas we can do? That person probably brought it up in a room full of white people. And they say, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, Honda was doing it. And that's how they just probably got into it. And really, they probably didn't think it through. They just said it sounds good. But and the reason why I put in that, do that format like the March Madness, throughout the season, you do a March Madness where people vote. And then in each conference. So you have your 4 or 5 conferences. They all meet up in Atlanta, and the top vote winner for that conference goes into play, and that's really how you should do it, like that, and make it a fair competition. But
I still don't think that's fair, right? Because it's like when in the military, right? I'll give you a good example. In the military, they have when you're overseas, they have a thing called the Game of the Week, and you can vote on what show that the Army Naval Network plays or whatever it's called, right? Well, there's more Dallas Cowboy fans. So we always win. You know, we always won the game of the week because it's just that many more Cowboys fans. And that's the same thing with Jackson and Southern. They're always going to be at the top because they're the bigger band and they got the bigger fan base.
I even got something.
I'm not saying vote by the fans. I'm talking about the adjudication process with a panel.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can have a vote from the fan favorite, but you can show, hey, here's the adjudication rules. Here's what you get 0 points by not having a flag team or dance team, or whatever, something like that. You de-weight those auxiliary pieces if you don't have it, but it's judged by a panel. Like Smash could be on that panel, stuff like that.
What you guys?
And that's how I think you should do it, huh?
I think it's also when you say just not thinking and deeper, like, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. So we all can we all 200 some people in this live for this championship game, can we say one of these 4 bands are going to be in this championship? Southern, Jackson, Bethune-Cookman, or FAMU. Are we all in agreement that one of them bands is going to make it?
Yeah.
Agreeing? Everybody in the comments going to say agree. This is why I talk about thinking it through. The last 2 weeks of November are the biggest games in the world. Let's talk about it. Florida Classic, Bayou Classic, Soul Bowl, right? I just seen these bands at the peak the last week of November. You mean to tell me in 2 more weeks, this all about knowing logistics and knowing band and not just trying to do it to do it. I'm gonna see one of them again. Come on, man. Like, you gotta. That's just one thing. I'm just putting y'all on game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just reach out a little bit more to people who know what the hell they talking about. It don't gotta be me. It's a bunch of other people. But I'm just saying, the same way y'all do y'all logistics, I majored in PR too, so I got a degree for real. That's not. I'm not just a videographer. I understand what I'm talking about
that. You see, that's what I said. When this idea was probably conceived, they was like, "Oh, Honda did it. Let's do it." And you can tell the picture that they're using is the similar logo from the FAMU stuff that they put out too, right? So it's like they copying and really not say, how do we think this through to make this really work? Because, and plus they're not understanding, like, to move FAM or Southern, that's going to be $150,000, $200,000 to move a bank.
But like I said, like,
right?
I'm always,
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but it's like, like Smash said, he said they got the money. He said they got the money, so.
They have a sponsor, but, you got to think about it. If they cover see, this is almost like a football type thing, a school playing a team, out of way team. Okay, you're going to pay for my hotel, my food, right? And my transportation costs to get to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the further the band away from Atlanta, the more that transportation cost is going to be, right? Then you got to look at, okay, what is the award that a band's going to get? 25,000, 50,000, 100,000? Bands are not going to do this if they're only going to get $10,000. They're not going to do that because they can say, oh, we can just go right up the street and play at a NFL home game and get $35,000, and they pay for everything.
Let me push back on that a little bit. Some bands might say that a band gonna say it. Somebody want them 10. Somebody want them 15. So you paying for all this paid. It's just a matter of, like, I like the idea, ESPN. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I just, when you present something like this, like Scott, how you say, present more details of what's coming along with it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, I'm getting ready for Christmas. My team, man, we get Celebration Bowl. Why the hell I'm going to Atlanta? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, yeah.
Hey, appreciate the call, though, Mr. D.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem.
3257 coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty? This is Chris from Love Media. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm all right. All right. So I have an issue with competitions versus showcases. It's always been a thing for me. I've been following bands for a long time, and I cover my alma mater, South Carolina State, Marshall 101. And I've always seen where bands would do competitions and it wouldn't necessarily hit rather than going to like the showcases like, like Honda and things like that.
Yeah.
For example, with the showcase, you get the chance to actually showcase talent from around the nation. Like here in Charlotte, there's a showcase coming up at the end of the month or next month where there's like 11 bands in the card.
Oh, wow.
And it gives people the opportunity to actually learn a lot about different, programs and things like that, from all the way up from Division I, all the way to like SAIC schools and stuff like that. When you have a competition and it's like a definitive like winner, especially something as big as the national championship, I think there may be an instance or there may be like some sort of precedence to where you might start seeing smaller programs becoming less interested because you start seeing those big programs going every single year. The same names over and over again because, one, the judges like them, and two, it's the things that people are used to seeing. And the fans are going to get uninterested because it's like, okay, we know Southern going, we know FAMU going, we know maybe we might get a surprise and see like a random run from South Carolina State or a random run from Norfolk. But you're going to start seeing the same names over and over and over again, and it's not going to be as exciting.
Okay, let me. You have a great point. To me, I'm on this show called Talk That Talk. Y'all can go subscribe to this every Wednesday night. They're probably live right now, but they're coming back next week. And we talk about stuff like this. We talk about like how band is broke up to. No disrespect to everybody. I call bands on the other side, like the MEAC. That's them bands over there doing the pretty stuff. Slightly rough and aggressive, what I'm saying, more entertaining if you ask me. It depends on what you like, what I'm saying? So I think they need something that these bands can get adjudicated on, what I'm saying? Because at the same time, if South Carolina State band, who's a smaller band now, sounds good and outperform a bigger band, I think they deserve their credit, no matter how big or small they are. I truly feel that way. But to your point, what I'm saying, like, they may not get a fair chance because of the crowd. So let's say, for instance, if this year, all the best bands, whatever adjudication shit we put together, were the smaller bands. You think people coming out to watch that? That's where the problem coming in right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, dang, like, and that's why these showcases, they work. I don't mind seeing a small band versus a big band if I know for sure this big band gonna pack this place out and there's gonna be a lit atmosphere to give this smaller band that stage and that platform. You know what I'm saying? So it's tomato, but it's just hard. But I do think they need some type of adjudication. Wait, just let us know what it's gonna be and find people of the culture who you think like, okay, do you think this will work? Do you think it'll never be perfect? But at least give us some type of, reasoning before you just come out with a damn press release and say we having this. Come to it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, I do agree with you on because so the rules are that it has to be 2 D1s and 2 D2s. So you're going to get your D2 schools no matter what, right? The smaller schools. But I do agree with you.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be as entertaining every year if you keep because if let's say Jackson has just been the best band for the last 3 years. What you gonna do? You gonna leave them out because you're tired? You get what I'm saying? Like it gets real finicky. So then it's gonna be like the college football playoffs. It needs to be expanded. That's what everybody's gonna keep crying for. It's not enough. Mm-hmm. It's not enough rooms. It's not enough bands. You know what I'm saying? Open it up more. It should be 3-3. Then it's gonna be like it should be 4-4. It's never gonna be enough to satisfy people's appetite of fairness, right?
And this ain't just anything. That just goes back to like, how Scotty, I'm passionate about band. Like sometimes you say something like, watch your mouth, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? I know it's about sports, but sometimes people don't want to see a damn fair show. They just want to see these bands crank up in these stands, get lit, and play some good music. So I like this. I'm gonna tell you this. Before I make this statement, let me think about it. I know I could pick. Scotty, you've been in the environment. You've been in the Southern and Jackson Battle of the Bands.
That was crazy.
Tailgating damn going on. Got flags. Everybody cursing, smoking the air. Those two bands can pack a stadium just by playing on the field, and you could put 7 bands in the stadium during a field show and be damn near even crowd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this goes into what I'm just saying. You can't just like try to dive in the culture and say you're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? You have to like do some research. And like I said, it won't be perfect, but getting the opinion of people who do this shit and like, who actually in it for real, and not just you might go to the top oldest band directors, and they no disrespect to old band directors, but like, they old, like they may be stuck in their ways sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the younger kids like. So yeah, so it's just so many other ways you can do it.
10 years ago.
Say that again. Sorry, say that again.
I was saying, the landscape of band currently is totally different than it was 10 years ago, let alone 20, 30.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, but we appreciate the call. Thank you so much. I like this. I like this. 2 from each conference, 2 independents, 1 day, 1 field. I like that. I like that a lot. That's real good, Book. I like that a lot. DeGratier, coming to you. This is a FAMU guy, so be very careful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a long time since I've talked on the show. Talked to you, Offscript, Scotty. It's great to, man. I've been waiting for you to talk band shit for a while. Talk. Well, I got my timer on. I'm looking at the clock.
Hey, no timer. You good? Talk band. you here? You got your opportunity to talk it.
We're talking HBCU bands, and I'm a fan of all the marching band stuff. And here in Atlanta, I would mention to you all to check out Drum Corps International, DCI. Those folks got band online. They got their own band channel. They got their own YouTube channel. They do conference. They do meets and battle of the bands all over the nation. It's an international ordeal. I would love to see the HBCUs do something similar to that. We're starting to get there. We have our battles here and there, but we don't have the money like the DCI folks are getting for sponsorship and all those things. So I'm here in Atlanta. Scotty, I think you're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Check out DCI this weekend. Check it out. It's going to be right
called
here at
Drum Corps what?
State.
Drum Corps International. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
My guy. Okay. Oh damn, Scott. I don't want to take. This is a show. We talking that bad stuff. Okay. We do something called Summer Band. I invite you to it every year, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? You don't never come, but anyway, this
not true. That is not true. You did not invite me when you don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay. And I even host my own battle bands down here in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? And like it's the difference between Drum Corps, which is they've been doing it for many years, and HBCU is Drum Corps is independent. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a bunch of people just get together and they join these organizations and they do everything privately through the summer. Band for the fall, these kids are actually in school, they're students. There's only so much they can do, so much they can travel, and they're on a school dime. So like if we could get something together like that, that'd be cool. But I think summer band, which we do, may get to Drum Corps International style before the college band do. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I appreciate Drum Corps International. I like it, but at the same time, it's different. And what they do, it works. You know what I'm saying? It works for them.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is different. Okay, this is a video of Drum Corps International. I don't think no black person is going. Hey, nobody black about to do that.
Scotty, you gonna find the most crazy video.
I'm going to say this. I am an active Georgia Mass Band performer. So we have our own version of the summer bands. You got New Orleans Mass Band, you got Alabama Mass Band, you got Georgia Mass Band. So we do summer bands, and these are alumni, high school students, college students, and people who have graduated from HBCUs. So the elements are in place, right? And I just want to see us take it to the next level. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for this, Scotty. Everybody watching this and hear me, hit the like button and get this video up and out to everybty. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate it. Hey, this is about as white as you can get. Boy, this about as white.
Actually, I have one of my partners. I have a good friend. He has one of the first black crews that perform in this every year, and they travel as a tour, they go around the country. Scotty, believe it or not. And it was crazy. They do the same field show the whole summer. They just perform it differently, get judged differently on it.
That man said she got a whip. He said she got a whip in her.
I ain't even realized that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, man. Look. Yeah, right here.
Wait a minute.
Right here. Look.
We've come too far, Scott.
No, sir. I will not be a part of that. No, sir. White woman should not have no whip in her hand. 5380 coming to you.
I'm fucking weak.
5380 coming to you.
Oh man.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Ricardo from Maryland. What's up, Scotty?
What's
How
going
y'all
on?
doing, man?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm great. This is the situation that's happened because I'm a alumnus as well from a HBCU, and you know, you guys talk about, you know, showcases and like competitions, because I'm a, you know, I've done
What school did you come out to, man?
for the classic as well. But at the same time, it's just, I really think that the whole problem is what ESPN is doing. Like y'all saying, that they're just taking, you know, nuances and you know, making it big based on, you know, what they see. And I really think from a adjudication standpoint, that's really big, because if you can actually judge most of these fans and find a way, because it is going to take money.
Yeah.
It is going to take more sponsorship, but at the same time, for us not to be as biased and really have ourselves to be open-minded in getting this done, and not appease everybody, because everybody gonna have their own biases and own things. If we can focus on just making it happen, and once they like the person that just called previously, that would be the main thing as far as the summer I'm saying thing. So that's what I'm saying about that.
Oh, got you, man. Appreciate the call, though. Thank you so much. Do you know what he said? I didn't know.
The comment said, get it out. I get what he basically say. Basically, I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying. I ain't gonna say this guy. No, I just heard he said something about the summer and it's gonna cost a lot of money to do that. So hey, that's what he said. Yeah. Oh, this.
Let me ask you this: what if they did an all-star competition? Like they just got the best sections or that wouldn't make sense because bands play together and stuff like that. I don't know. You band people are annoying. I just tell you that. Hold on, I want to see this. I gotta see this, man. This is just too white for me. Boy, this is just too white. I just
Scotty, you're not best in DC out here, man. This shit is prestigious, man.
no, these bands is white. I mean, like, let me see. Dog, why?
You get judged, man. And these some of the best musicians in the world. They have that guy right there. Look on that phone. Look, right here behind him. Look, they can play though. That's one thing. Remember I said musicians, like, hey, it may look crazy, but they playing it. So Scott, they playing. Sound good too.
Let me hear this. Well, look at that crowd.
They all on one side. Look.
Boy, that is Mayo Century. Okay, that is Mayo Century. Let me get to this call. 6956 coming to you.
Dog, it's funny, boy.
Oh, Century. Get to this call. 6956 coming to you.
Hey, caller, you live.
All right, how you doing, Scotty?
Hey, what's going on? Tell your background down for me.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
This is Walter from Fort Washington, Maryland. I'm a high school band director.
DMV, you're good with me. Let's go.
High school band director for 35 years and done competition for about 30 of those years at the high school level. The HBCU band competition, that national one, I don't necessarily agree because it's not a level playing field. It is no different than your football programs that struggle trying to get from one game to the next game. And then you'll take a small band like a Johnson C. Smith University in the CIAA. And I'm a Livingstone College graduate who have a small band under 50 trying to compete against another band that might have 150. Budget-wise, you're looking at those small bands, they're still struggling trying to get to an away game that might be 2 or 3 hours away. Then they don't have the media team, and then they don't even have the scholarships to even put together the type of band they should have for the size of their school or university. But I think the concept is great if all the logistics can be made out where these bands can make some money. Because if you're taking a band from Delaware State, for example, that's in the MEAC, and you're going to bring them all the way down to Atlanta, it's going to cost X amount of money. But when you're taking a band that's in, say, South Carolina State, that's only have a couple hours drive, that's another different form of money. So we got to really look at it. Some of these bands, especially in the CIAA, I can talk more about that, they will never, ever get the exposure that some of the bands may get that's in the SWAC. And even though we have some great bands in the MEAC, like the Howards and whatnot, they too still struggle because of what the institution requires of them and what the institution still doesn't give them to do as being a band. So we got to really look at it.
Nah, he's spitting. I literally just talked to Howard band director when I was in Maryland last week, Scotty, and just certain things like when you said that the smaller bands is not a even playing field, and that's why that's kind of like I said how I got my name big in this thing. I just started giving the bands who didn't have exposure. You know what I'm saying? And they need it. You know.
Can I throw it back to you guys and ask you this question? Could they make it to where, let's say, if Livingstone or Winston-Salem, they got 60, that everybody has to bring 60? Could they do something like that? That everybody got to bring their best 60?
It could happen.
You're talking about bringing back 60. Is that 60 total people, or is that 60 playing musicians?
Like if whoever the smallest band is, right, that they feel is going to compete, everybody has to match that band just to make it fair across the board. Because if they can play with 60, that means you can play with 60.
And one gonna say, if we can recruit 260, they can recruit 260.
Come on, now that's
Scott. Hey, I'm just saying that's how you're gonna listen. It's almost like a pep band battle of bands today. They have that in the CIAA. They have like pep band battles for the CIAA weekend. It's like they bring a drum set. They different over there, but it's not fair to the biggest school. You punishing me because I got a bigger band and culture different down here. That I don't think that'll work, Scotty. It sounds cool, but okay. And what happens when everybody brings 60 in the same bands who got they 60 just way different than the 60s of everybody else?
Absolutely.
It's gonna happen. I have, like, for example, one thing I know, I don't want to go down, but some of the bands over here in the SWAC, you know what I'm saying? I know for sure, like, let's say Southern, for example. Southern some years be having like 65 trumpets. You talk about trumpets. Yeah, you talk about 60 in the band.
Might have 8 trumpets.
Eight trumpets. And I got, of my 65, I know I got 20 of these that are just straight washed the 5 that they got. You know what I'm saying? So it's
okay,
it's gonna be crazy.
Mr. Band Director, is it possible? That's all is it possible? Because if you're telling me that a band with 60 or 70 people is good enough to make it to the national championship, then why aren't the other teams able to cut their team down to 70 or 80 or at least to 100, right? And make it work. I don't understand what's the problem.
It's the problem because why
I'm asking the band director, sir. Let the band director.
Right. The problem is that even when you ask everybody to cut down to 60, when you have that smaller band that say 75, but they only have 2 sousaphones. Now you're going to ask them to cut their band down to 60, and they cut theirs down to 60, and they still going to bring you 15 sousaphones. That can't compete. Not at all.
Yes, got it. Because they're gonna instrumentalize it different. So I see your 60. You got two tubas. You got a band, so they'll be having deep drum sections right now. I'm of my 60. I'm out the gate. I'm putting 10 tubas. I'm letting you know, probably 15. Out the gate, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and we leaving woodwinds at home for real. Like, I'm like, so what you clarinets, piccolo, don't stand a chance. They're gonna be a strong 60. You better go look at band like Kentucky State that'll knock your head off. And numbers don't matter for real. For us, 60 is Kentucky State be having 65 to 100 sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They would knock your head off. So we can't conform to the smaller bands because they small. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of we need to figure out a way that we can make it all happen.
But if it's a national showcase and every band is being recognized and being supported financially, now we have just taken away the competition and we're still highlighting bands without necessarily crowning a winner. But the showcase will definitely expose a lot of bands.
Got it. I got one for you. You know that song you like that Southern play?
Tomorrow.
You think how many trumpets you think it takes to do that?
Probably like what 30 trumpets.
It take down that more than 60-feet band to make that shit work. And that's the part of it. You go crazy. It can be played, but it ain't gonna have an effect. The reach. We were talking about reach all year. That was all damn week. Reach. So yeah, man.
Thank you, Mr. Band Director. I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. You know, that's how the DMV get down, man. We full of knowledge. Shout out to you.
Scotty, I watch your show, but you know, there's some things I agree with and I don't agree with. But you okay, brother, from another mother. Have a good day.
Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? DMV, you're good with me. You know, listen, man. I don't got no dog in the fight. People over here talking about no, who would do that? Who would do that? It's because you know you have the advantage. That's what kills me. Bama's no. I got 200 people. Why I can't bring my 200 people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they like to win. The Bama's want to win. They don't want to be fair. They don't want to have equality. They just want to win. You know what I'm saying?
I got one better for you, Scotty. What's the most prestigious HBCU everybody talk about? Just name what it is. Everybody talk about it. What it is? What's one of the most prestigious HBCUs out that everybody talk about?
Howard.
The flag. Okay, Howard. Right. What resources Howard don't have? Exactly. That's why Howard band only got 60. You feel me? So that's not fair to Jackson. You know who you probably just found out because of Dion. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. See what I'm saying? For we doing worldwide competition, so we can't conform to one and conform to the other. When that school got all the damn money and it's not Jackson's fault. They got 60 people in their band, so yeah, that just wouldn't work.
Okay.
But small bands don't matter. Some small bands be good. They be blowing the shit out of big bands, so it's not like that.
Well, I mean, if you got band directors judging it, because me as a fan, I'm gonna be like, them band was lost. You know what I'm saying?
Why you lost, Scotty?
You know what I'm saying? But you got band directors listening for the musicality and everything like that. So maybe, a smaller band could win the band of the year. 7482 coming to you.
Hey, fellas, good evening. Thanks for letting me come on.
No problem. What you got?
Shout out to you, Smash. Thank you for everything you do. Also, I want to see some more FAMU games this year. But I had a question I was posing to Smash. Do you think it'll be a bias on this thing going on in Atlanta because of those top bands? You know that the bands is actually going to bring people out to actually see. If you see 4 little bands, a Tuskegee, a Livingston, or whatever they're called, or Kentucky State, maybe it might not pack the house like a FAMU will, like a Jackson State will, like a Southern, even a Texas Southern. So what do you think about that? Is there going to be some bias in that band of the year to who you're inviting?
Honestly, bro, I can't even lie to you, man. I don't think the bias in adjudicating, but I think the people who are going to show up are going to determine. Let's be for real. Like, they want to do numbers. You think they're really going to put the Claflins, the Kentucky State, when Southern band alone and alumni is going to pack it probably more students than they had in the school that year? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'll say a bias towards judging, but they're going to want some credible names up in there.
Right. Of course, they're going to want those bigger bands there. And then I guess that's when you can have the whole problem of what's going on. And then the format, me being a FAMU alum in the 100, hey, my freshman year in 2011, they say Southern Smashers. Hey, I think we killed them in both in the stands and on the field. But the format is different from everybody to judge it. But bringing those two schools there, it was a big crowd in Atlanta with big alumni bases. Those little schools can't compete with that. So I think that could be a real big issue with it. And like you said, the little schools is going to get left by the wayside because nobody's really going to come to see that. They're good as openers, but they're going to want to see those big bands clash.
Exactly, man. You a FAMU. Like, we all talk about FAM. You know, Scotty may call them boring, but we respect everything FAM has done over the years in the program. It's just y'all, it's FAM. Like, come on, man. Y'all gonna support anything when it come to band. Y'all come out deep. So, like, it's just not fair to other schools. That's my whole point of this whole show for y'all who just tuned in. I just feel like it doesn't, are we gonna be able to get a fair adjudication for the smaller school? I mean, a fair shot for the smaller schools who just don't stand a chance. And you know what, another too, I always preach this too, Scott. You hear me say it a lot. I don't like, for all the new people who new HBCU fans on Scotty channel, HBCU is bigger than the SWAC. It is. We always talk about HBCU schools, but it's most schools than just the schools in the SWAC. It is.
Yeah.
And it's most schools than Howard, most schools than Spelman, Clark, Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. So those kids need a fair shot at stuff like this too, and that's all I'm saying. But yeah, Carly, you're absolutely right. I don't think it will be fair for the smaller schools at all. And the FAMU go, it's gonna be orange and green everywhere.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, Todd.
Hey, man, appreciate the call, man. Hey, I appreciate the band people calling in. Smash, let me ask you this. Should they have just kept it a D1 competition? I think they should have kept it D1. And the reason is because the MEAC, the Celebration Bowl is a D1 event. So you should have just kept it to a D1 and made it apples to apples, right? Because now when you're getting into the nuances of D2s, the size, the fan bases, and those, you're going to have a problem, and people are going to feel it's not fair that the big bands are picking on the little bands. So
because I'm gonna say no to your question, because let's say a D1 band like South Carolina State, right? Miles band, I won't do that, but Miles band is much bigger than South Carolina State, and it wouldn't be fair. Miles College is D2 school.
But see, the thing about it is you're focusing on the minor over the major. There's not a lot of, like, what I'm saying is you got Miles, but all the D1, most of the D1 bands are bigger than the D2 bands. Am I not correct?
Yeah, no, you're wrong, because, like, okay, let's do this. We said the major. So listen, every band in the MEAC besides Norfolk. Let me think again. Besides Norfolk, if we just gonna pound for pound off of numbers, we're not standing a chance with half of the bands in the SIAC. SIAC living like that. The Kentucky States, the Miles, the Benedicts of the world. Go look at the first they just posted. Matter of fact, prime example. Those three bands that they use on the thing, all of them are SIAC bands. So that's why I don't think, to answer your question, no. When you come to fair band, when band competitions is get it how you live out the mud. If you small, you sound good. A small band can entertain the crowd. I just think that they need to find ways to. You can't say you judging bands off of their progress throughout the season when every band don't have the resources to put out content like that. That's all I'm saying. But no, don't you small bands need a chance on the big stage. And sometimes small bands want to be on that stage with the big band to show you that we can do it too. That's how bands like Kentucky State get their name. But no, Miles is bigger than them. Every band in the MEAC besides Norfolk. Let me see, there's another band over there besides Norfolk. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I just think you should have kept it D1. If the Celebration Bowl is D1, kept it D1. That's just my personal opinion. I think the Celebration Bowl is a D1 event. Go ahead.
Now, I do think that conferences like the SIAC and need to cater to bands more often, because we get an ESPN to do it. I feel like each conference needs to have a conference battle of the bands. Like the SWAC, the SWAC had said they were gonna have a SWAC battle of the bands. We never seen it yet. Remember? I think the SIAC need to host their own battle of the bands for their schools, because them bands, they out there in the hot sun like the football team as well. Stuff like that can happen. And then we can go, we was talking about earlier. So we have a SIAC champion, then we have a SWAC champion. That can work. I like that.
Yeah. What about, how about this? What if you match it, right? Because it's kind of a weird situation, because you got the Celebration Bowl teams bands there, right? That they're automatically going to be there for the game, and then whoever else is there, whatever. But why not? Why couldn't you have done it in the sense of how the Celebration Bowl is matched up? You match it up with the band, right? But then the SIAC and the CIAA, they have their own competition as well. So it's not a round robin or a free for all. It's SWAC versus MEAC, CIAA versus SIAC. And those are you get what I'm saying? So it's an individual conference type of thing. I think that would have worked a lot better.
That's working better than what we know of as now. And that's just an idea coming from you, Scott. If you could put that together, what you think that if with a little more research and a little talking to people, right, people could have did? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it could have been, you could have did like 4 bands from two from the S. If that's the model they wanted to stick with, 2 and 2, you get 2 from the SIAC, 2 from the CIAA, 2 from the SWAC, 2 from the MEAC, and then you battle it out. You know what I'm saying? And they battle it out, but you know, however you want to do it, something like that. So because then I think it's apples to apples. You know what I'm saying? It's your own against your own and things like that. But we'll see how it goes out.
And I think it'll be more of a fair conversation to say, okay, like it wouldn't hit as bad if the smaller conferences lose in the championship, saying like you are the best band of your conference and that's why you're here. Mm-hmm. And even if you lost, just know you're still the best of your conference. And you know, just this conference is bigger, they dominate better. Hey, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes the smaller conferences might outdo some of these. Well, I don't know if it go like that. I can't lie to myself. That probably won't happen.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I mean, the one thing I know about HBCU alums, they will brag about anything, okay? If they can hold something over another school's head, that they're the best in their conference, they could lose the national championship game and they'd be like, but what about y'all though? We beat all y'all bums. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how HBCU alums listen. They will brag about anything, man. They will absolutely. It'll be funny. That would be funny, but we'll see how it goes, man. Smash. Listen, I don't do much band content. I'm gonna stick to that because this ain't my, y'all doing too much, man. The common sense stuff, y'all don't make it seem very common. Like, I just think you should all just have a number limit on how many people you can bring. That's just my personal opinion. I just think that's fair. But
I know that's got it sound nice, but hell nah. I mean, that probably could. No, I would like to see it just to see what was going on, just to show you what I'm talking about. What's gonna happen, because your 60 is still maybe 3 trumpets. Yeah, still maybe 3 trumpets. My 60 gonna be 16 trumpets. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how you.
This is gonna sound bad, but we all growing here, right? If I've been working with something that's not, I know how to work with myself. You get what I'm saying? You used to working with a bigger, and then when you come down to a smaller one, you don't know what to do with it because you used to being big. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of no homos in here, but you get what I'm saying.
You right, Scotty. I can't even back it up, but at the same time, it's like no, because my new one, we about to pill, because we been strong. It might be one of the. Nah, we're gonna go too left with this, because
I'm just saying, man.
It might be a Gerst versus Lynch situation. It might be one of those situations, Scotty. Who you like better? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's preference. It's preference at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's all preference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they going crazy.
But I'm just saying that's why I think it's fair.
Look at all the girls in the comment like, yeah.
You gotta know you gotta know how to work it. You know what I'm saying? And I think.
You talking about swag, man? Look at walking out. This shit is funny. That's what I call now what value made. Rhoda explaining to him why the number limit doesn't work. Because Scotty, like some bands, even like some bands write their song first, second. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, Scotty, if let's say for instance I got 15 trombones, right? In music, the 5 in the middle, maybe playing the first part, top line. The ones on the left, maybe playing the second part. The ones on the right, maybe playing the third part. How we make the music sound full and sound beautiful. What you like, how it sounds melodic. The same thing happening with the smaller bands, but I know a lot of smaller bands. They play the same part so it can sound full, and they don't have the luxury to do that. So like small stuff like breaking up the parts and instrumentation. I don't care what band director you talk to, they would like a band with the instrumentation to be able to play out the colors of their music. I don't care. They may say small band, some know how to make it work, and those are the good band directors know how to make it work, whatever. But instrumentation matters. So in this,
figure it out. That's figure it out, because I'm not okay. So realistically, right? So I'm not saying everybody go to 60, but I'm saying I think there should be I think the challenging part of it, which will make it fun and challenging, is like, okay, you can only bring 100 people, and you got 100 people is the max. Figure it out.
But when that band don't have 100 people, now what?
Then I can't do everything for you. Okay, I'm trying to make it as close. And
I think 150 could work. I think 145 could work. Matter of fact, you right, Scott. On a field show, shit, 85 could work for real. 85, 90 could work for a field show. It could work. Who got the best 85? But I don't know. I like the big sound.
You see what I'm saying? Now that's preference. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, to make it fun, challenging, and to kind of level the playing field from just the big bands, just Jackson State, like Kofi said, wah, just over there just winning on Bamas. You know what I'm saying? I think you got it. You make it work. You make it work. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, like Pete said, 128 is a standard for a field show. So when those people do it smaller, 110 to 8 is what I think is good for a field show. But Scotty, I don't know, man. It's action. You've been big your whole life. Somebody asked you. I think you need a new girl, my guy. That's all it is. Oh, no. But yeah, y'all get what we saying, man. I know who jukebox EBT cars were misplaced. EBT cars. Y'all joshing. But yeah, man, Scott, it's just one of them things, man. I don't know, but all in all, long as this benefits the bands, and I just hope everybody have a fair shot at it, I think that'll be pretty cool. As long as the bands get paid right and they get treated good, that's all I meant. I just don't want it to be one of those we trying to pack the weekend things, and you know what I'm saying, it just kind of don't do the band is right justice.
I'm gonna be curious to see how this all works out and see how I'm about to say first annual inaugural band of the year. And I'm telling you, if it don't go well, listen, man, it is going to be a firestorm.
I can tell you this before we get off. I don't like the sound of the Jodeco band. I don't. It sounds. That's the thing too. Acoustic. We like more. The old Jodeco was perfect, but like this one is just. I don't want to say it's too big, but it's like the band don't sound.
Cool.
It's not like it's fading out.
Hey, let me tell you this though. I went to the Celebration Bowl when Jackson and South Carolina State were playing. Listen, when South Carolina State got up, you can hear them nice and clear. Okay, nice and clear. And I was sitting on the Jackson State side. Sonic Boom was sounding like the Sonic Soft. I'm trying to tell you, they was not what. They was.
I got it about to start some shit. So you telling me that day South Carolina State smashed Jackson State?
Once they started losing, Jackson State lost. Listen, Jackson State's band is not a band that plays from a losing position, right? If they're losing in the game, they don't play with the same intensity. South Carolina State, boy, they would get up. For the Bulldog, boy, everybody get up, boy. They was jamming. Jackson was over there like this. But
was people. Listen. The people probably say we ain't worried about these people over there, man. Come, man, let them have it over there. Scotty, you tripping,
bro? I swear to God, I was there. Me and Key both were there, sitting. They were quiet.
He said nothing losing to a 10-piece.
They are people. They don't play when they losing. They don't play well.
It's people like you that want that y'all come down to this small band competition. It's people like you that go say outrageous stuff like see what happens when you get small.
I'm just saying I'm telling you, when that fourth quarter hit, dog, you would have thought the band went home already. How they were talking about how Gremlin left the Stallions. Jackson was still sitting there. You didn't even hear from him. It was just like they still over there.
I'll tell you what, Scotty. You know what's funny about this? A lot of times when our teams go far in like the championship and stuff, the band been ready to go home. They hate it. There's a lot of times the bands like when the football team has losing season, so we don't have to be dealing with this shit. I'm telling you, that's the thing. So yeah, they probably ready to go anyway.
I'm just saying. Listen, Jack State fans, they love to remember what they want to remember. But boy, they were not playing Get Ready. They were not playing Get Ready. They weren't playing I Love Jay. They ain't playing none of that. They weren't playing none of that. It was dead silence. And South Carolina State was rocking. Did they do a fifth quarter? I don't stay for the fifth quarter. I don't do all that. That ain't my business. That ain't my business. That ain't my business. All right. So I don't know who won that. But the only fifth quarter I stayed was the Alcorn and Southern. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Scott was going crazy.
That rain down was that was crazy. That was boy, you could thought the radio was on. That Jake sound so good.
I mean, they is called the human jukebox. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm just saying it was good. I gotta give him that. It was good. But all right, man, let's get up out of here. Listen, I'm gonna go to a couple games. Somebody said Rhea Tears. I'm gonna go to a couple. I ain't going to no Jackson game this year, but I'm gonna go to a couple games. I ain't gonna stay. I ain't doing
it. Man, come to the game in Alabama. The damn in Mobile.
Hell no. Ain't going nowhere. Man. Hell no, I ain't going to no Mobile. Mobile won't get another dollar out the Scott household. Won't do it. Hate that.
I think the best game of the season this year might be that damn Alcorn and Southern game at Alcorn. That belt will be hit. I'm telling you it is.
We'll see. I ain't coming to Mobile though. But all right, man, guys. Appreciate Smash, man. Love you, my guy. Appreciate you for jumping on, talking a little band with me and my constituents, all the band heads. Get your hunger, get your fix, because it probably ain't gonna happen until the end of the year, or when I go to a game and I tell you how bad the band was, or if they were good or whatever. But we'll see how that goes. But listen, until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna holler. God bless.